Hello everyone, and welcome to Booth University College's virtual Counselors Coffee Break for 2020. I'm Georgine Vandemosler, Director of Advancement at Booth University College, and I am joined today by a few of our extraordinary admissions team. Please allow me to introduce you to admissions counselors Osi Ubome, Keegan Braun, and Kaylee Gillis. One of my most important responsibilities at Booth UC is to inspire, and we hope to do just this today. What you will hear and see will inspire you as educators, and in turn, you will inspire your students to transform their city and their community through an education at Booth UC. As you will hear this morning, we have a commitment that we talk a lot about at Booth UC, which is education for a better world. We make it our mission to educate with a focus on social justice, a focus on hope, and a focus on mercy. You might ask yourself, why would I go to Booth UC? Why would I recommend that one of my students apply to Booth UC? And we would say, because you want to transform your city. You might ask yourself, why would I take a BA in English at Booth UC? And we would say, because you want to find out how stories shape who we are. A BA in Interdisciplinary Studies, because I want to solve problems in new ways. A BA in Religion, perhaps, because I want to learn how faith challenges culture. A BA in Behavioral Sciences, because I want to build up my community. A BA in Psychology, because I want to help people care for themselves and others. A Bachelor of Social Work, because I want to advance social justice in my city. And finally, a Bachelor of Business Administration, because I want to build a sustainable business. I hope you're sitting in a comfortable chair with a cup of coffee or tea. We welcome you to journey today through this presentation so that you may guide your students in their post-secondary journey to transform their community, their city, their country, and indeed, their world.
Albert Einstein once said, "It is not so very important that a person learn facts. For that, he does not really need a college. He can learn them from books." The value of an education in a liberal arts college is not learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think something that cannot be learned from textbooks. At Booth University College, we're proud to be a liberal arts institution grounded in the traditions of the Salvation Army.
A liberal arts education has its strengths in many areas, some of which are critical thinking, adaptability, flexibility, communication, relationship building, and teamwork. These are usually referred to as soft skills. These skills create engaged students, employees, and citizens. And in this way, they create a better world.
Speaking of teamwork, this morning we have invited our interim president, vice president, a few professors, and student services to join us for this coffee chat to talk about why your students would benefit from a liberal arts education at Booth University College. Feel free as we progress through our event to ask questions in the chat, and we will be happy to answer them. Know that we are always available to you by phone or email at our website at boothuc.ca. We will be sending you resources after this presentation, along with a survey. As valued partners in this educational journey, your feedback is so important. And now, we would like to show you some of the ethos of Booth University College, in which we call our commitment video. We thought it would be a great way to kick off this event.
Not all of us set out to change the world. But for those of us who do, knowing where to begin can be hard, because the world, though beautiful, is broken in so many ways. Some ways that make it seem like one person can't possibly make a difference, and other ways that are just easier to ignore. But we don't believe in an easy world. We believe in a better world. At Booth University College, change starts on the front lines, where we can make the biggest difference, and where others might be afraid to go. We fight for justice, we bridge divides, and we share ideas. Because as an institution grounded in the Christian faith, we know a better world is possible, and it's within our ability to make it happen. Whether that world is halfway across the globe or right around the corner. We believe in making a difference in more than just our own lives, that the skills to change the world can be taught, fostered, inspired, and strengthened, and that it doesn't take an army to make an impact. But it helps. Whoever you are, whatever you believe, wherever you're going, a better world begins here. Booth University College. Education for a better world.
We hope you all enjoyed the video. I know for those of us who were involved in its production, it certainly encapsulates the essence of who we are at Booth University College and our theme of transformation. I'd now like to pass it over to Dr. Donald Burke, our interim president. Dr. Burke will bring us greetings and give us a brief history lesson about Booth University College. Dr. Burke is our interim president right now, but he was a long-standing president from 2006 to 2016. Dr. Burke has also taught biblical studies at Booth since it opened in '82. Over to you, Dr. Burke.
Thank you for your kind introduction. Before I say anything else, I want to acknowledge that Booth University College is in Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. I want to thank you for taking time today to participate in this information session about Booth University College. For almost 40 years, Booth University College has been educating students to make a difference in the world. As a university college operated by the Salvation Army, we express the Salvation Army's mission through education. We strive to help our students understand the complexities and challenges of the world in which we live. But more than simply striving to understand the world, we also want to inspire and educate our students to transform the world, to make it better by bringing hope, working for justice, and showing mercy. Especially, we want our students to combine sound learning with values that produce strong commitments to justice and compassion for those who are typically marginalized and minimized in society. If this is something that you think might be a good fit with your students, we would ask you to encourage them to check us out. Our website has full information about our program offerings, and our admissions team is ready to answer all your questions. So check out boothuc.ca to learn more about what Booth University College has to offer. And now, back to you.
Thanks, Dr. Burke. We really appreciate that you were able to join us this morning. As Georgine mentioned at the beginning of our coffee break, we have a variety of programs and degrees at Booth University College, all of which aim at transformation. Dr. Michael Boyce, our Vice President Academic and Dean, is the best possible candidate on our team to give you a brief overview of what programs we offer. Dr. Boyce also does double duty as an Associate Professor of English and Film Studies. And now we pass it over to Dr. Boyce.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Michael Boyce. I'm the Vice President and Academic Dean at Booth University College. At Booth, we believe in education for a better world. We want our students to transform their city, their communities, and their country. At Booth, we have 3 schools that house our academic program. There's the School of Humanities and Social Science, the School of Business, and the School of Social Work. The School of Humanities and Social Science houses English, film studies, interdisciplinary studies, religion, psychology, behavioral science, and our upcoming program in urban transformation. Our School of Business offers a comprehensive business program at the undergraduate level, giving students a Bachelor of Business Administration. And finally, our School of Social Work, which has really been our flagship program. Students there learn the comprehensive skills needed to be social workers in the province of Manitoba or beyond. All of our students work in the community. That's what we mean by education for a better world. Our students contribute over 30,000 hours to the community every year. And it's been great to have this opportunity to talk to you. And now, I'll pass it back.
Thanks, Dr. Boyce, for taking time from your class to chat with us. As Dr. Boyce mentioned, we have 3 schools within our institution. Well, actually 4. We would be remiss if we did not give a shout out to our School for Continuing Studies, which offers online and hybrid certificate courses. But for this morning, we'll be sticking to the 3 schools which apply to your students. And the first up is the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. Humanities is defined by Booth UC as our English and Interdisciplinary Studies and Religion Bachelor of Arts programs, as well as our Diploma of Liberal Arts and our Certificate of Christian Studies. Social Sciences encompasses our Behavioral Sciences and Psychology Bachelor of Arts programs. We're also excited to announce the upcoming launch of our Center for Community and Urban Transformational Studies. We asked professors from each of these programs to submit in advance a short video answering the question, why Booth UC? Take a look at what they had to say.
I think the best way to start to answer this question is to say that, is to turn to our motto here at Booth, which is education for a better world. Now, obviously, every program is going to approach that in different ways.
Booth's new creative theme, Why Booth UC, because I want to solve problems in new ways, speaks to the value of Booth's interdisciplinary degree because it emphasizes our students' curiosity for learning, and it also helps them resist a society that values education as a means to an end rather than as a beginning.
Students who take our program will soon come to realize, very quickly in fact, that the relationship between religion and culture is very complex. The two interact in very dynamic ways and very fluid ways. And so students will quickly discover how faith challenges culture as well as how culture challenges faith. And these are the kinds of interactions that students will be able to see play out in the courses that they take at Booth University College.
But I think, the other thing that we do very well at Booth is that we encourage students to engage with a lot of the kind of what we call cultural studies approaches to literature, and not just literature, but to culture. So for instance, we teach courses on media studies, we teach courses on film, we teach courses on, say, Christianity and popular culture. And we're trying to help students become conversant in these various ways of approaching culture and thinking critically about culture. This doesn't necessarily mean culture from 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago. It can mean culture right now.
Something I appreciate about Booth is that at Booth, post-secondary education is about so much more than just getting a job. While getting a job is important, it seems that many institutions have gotten away from their original mandate of providing a universal education. That is, an education in a variety of disciplines in order to produce well-rounded and critical members of society. There's no better way to ignite curiosity and engage in holistic learning than by getting a degree in interdisciplinary studies, and getting that degree at Booth comes with undeniable advantages.
I'd like to take a little bit of time to explain how we've shaped our program to help our goal of education for a better world. Now, students are typically drawn to a psychology program because they want to learn about clinical therapies and skills to help people who are struggling with their own mental health and well-being. So, why psychology at Booth UC? One of the keystones of our degree is our internship program. We support our students in an opportunity to take the skills they develop through our classes, go out into the world, and get real hands-on experience helping others. The program offers many unique opportunities, including providing support to victims of human trafficking, facilitating group sessions for people suffering from mood disorders, helping members of impoverished and oppressed groups locate and access resources to benefit their own well-being, and many more.
Behavioral sciences strives to understand behaviors in an interdisciplinary approach, combining psychology with sociology. We like to hold these disciplines in tension in order to gain a richer understanding of behaviors, not only on an individual level, but also within the broader contexts in which we find ourselves.
There's a tendency for us as humans to fall into the sort of complacent belief that the way things are is just the way they are. Right? I think I've heard a song that has a line not unlike that. And what we're doing when we're studying literature and the other arts and history and things like that is that we're learning to estrange maybe some of the beliefs we have about how the world works, and becoming more sort of critically aware of the ways in which maybe they're unjust in certain ways. Maybe there's some things that we have not thought enough about in the way that we have previously shaped our world.
So those who are interested in studying the Bible, Christian theology, and the history of Christianity, they will find lots of exciting courses to explore at Booth University College. But we also believe it is important that students gain some exposure to the other religions of the world. One 19th century German scholar said about the study of religion many years ago that the person who knows one religion knows none. We offer courses that public university religion programs offer, but we also provide courses that you will typically see in a Christian college or university. So we, I think in that respect, are very unique in our offerings.
In fact, after graduating, many of our students have actually taken on full-time jobs at the same locations that they actually worked during their internship. And that's my answer to why Booth UC. I'm proud that I get to see our students taking what they've learned and going out to do good in the world.
I take a transformational approach, which is to understand the self as having some self-determinacy in its own transformation, which is to work on the self, to better that self, and with the understanding that that betterment expands and extends beyond everyday life circumstances to the communities in which we find ourselves, and the cities, and even the globe on a global level.
One of our recent graduates is now studying at Yale Divinity School in the United States. And of course, Yale Divinity School is part of Yale University. So we really do have a good track record at Booth University College of placing students in some of the best academic programs in the world at the graduate level. So that is something that is really, I think, special about Booth that we can be proud of.
I'm also developing a center for community and urban transformational studies at Booth, which will allow us to study self-transformation within the urban context, which we believe is becoming more and more important as the world transitions to more people living in cities than in rural spaces than ever before. And with this transformation comes a variety of challenges and opportunities that we hope to understand better in order that we can contribute to its betterment.
So I think the basic goal of our program is to help students become more eloquent, more capable of thinking critically about the culture they find themselves in, but also to be more creative in the ways that they can think about how to make a better world.
A degree in interdisciplinary studies from Booth is unique because we enjoy small class sizes that enable faculty and students to actually have meaningful scholarly conversations and learn from each other to solve the problems facing our city and the wider world. The school's values also challenge our students to engage in ideas and actions that benefit the many rather than the few. This means that an interdisciplinary degree from Booth sets students up to effect meaningful change, and I'm really proud to be a part of that.
We welcome students from diverse faith commitments. We welcome students from diverse backgrounds, and we really believe that this enriches our study together. So don't think that anyone is excluded from the religion program. They are not. The religion program is open to all qualified students, regardless of your background, regardless of your faith commitment or lack of faith commitment to a world religion. We welcome all students with open arms, and we do hope that you will come to study with us.
So with those things in mind, I just want to thank you for your attention and for considering Booth University College. And I encourage you to look further into our programming, and I hope to see you soon. All the best.
A big thank you to our professors. Fun fact, 100% of our academic advisors are also faculty. At Booth UC, the relationship between professors and students is very important and is one of the key elements in the success of those who study with us. So, we've covered the School of Humanities and Social Sciences and how an education and its programs affect change in our communities in positive ways. Next, we will be hearing from the remaining two schools, social work and business. Georgine joined the director of the School of Social Work, Dr. Alexander Sawatsky, and business school professor Laszlo Marvovics for a chat earlier this week, and here's what they had to say.
We're here today to talk a little bit about the School of Social Work at Booth University College. And I'm wondering if I could ask you, what makes the social work program at Booth UC stand out from other programs?
Good question. I think a number of things. The one that tends to be one we sort of can notice right away. I think anybody who looks into our program will see we're not very big, and I think that's actually an advantage. As we think about it, social work, given what it is, so much of it is the direct personal connections with people. So we're literally being able to deliver the program the way other people should experience the social worker. So we have a smaller environment, we have a personal understanding of all the social work students. The social work program itself, the faculty are the advisors to students, which is sometimes not done either. It's kind of unusual. So we're able to really take a direct interest and not only just advising how to go through the program, but also being able to, as advisors, have those conversations where people can really talk about, why are they excited? I think that's more interesting to me anyways. Like, I always like seeing new students and actually finding out from them, like, why are you interested? I know why I like to do this and I like to teach this, but I'm interested in why you're interested and how can I help, make that something that's more real for you. That's the exciting stuff. It's a great job. We get to talk about what we love all the time, and we get to watch other people get excited about it. So sometimes I don't know who's getting more out of it. But ultimately, it's that personal touch. It's the the interest also in helping cultivate a skill set that when people go out and they work in any field of social work, they hit the ground running. They right away know the basics to sort of orient themselves. It's almost like they have the compass to be able to find the direction, and that's what they're getting in this education. So in that means there is an ability to understand how all these different kinds of social problems interact and affect people, and what are some general sort of strategies to address them, including the clinical skill set that we try to help people here gain, which again is a bit unusual sometimes, depending on which social work program you might be interested in. But if you come to our program, we will help you learn how to talk and interact with people on a deeper level to help uncover some of the challenges that they're facing and give them hope for a better future.
What can students expect to do with their degree from Booth University College in order to transform their cities and the world around them?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, I think what's so wonderful about social work, and initially I think for some people kind of a little bit disconcerting when they start, is that it's so broad. We talk about a generalist practitioner model, which is sort of the approach for the undergrad experience, to capture that. So that I think I mentioned earlier that it's sort of like providing people with a compass. So if they're in a new country, in a sense, if you want to think of whatever position they're in or kind of job they're doing later, it helps them orient themselves to what that landscape is and to be able to be effective within it. So there are, well, unfortunately, I guess we can say that with our given world and the way it operates is we're kind of dealing with all of these social problems, and it doesn't look like they're going to go away. I mean, anybody can turn on the news, and obviously, even in the format that we're currently communicating, we know that there are real life events that are impacting everybody. So I think it's a matter of developing your own interests and passions and trying to decide what you want to do with that. So social justice is really about the fact that social workers in general are at the front lines. They're with people who are dispossessed, who have less resources, and who are frequently misunderstood and maligned by politics, by talking points, or forgotten. And so social work, and especially within our program, I think, there is a real interest to get students to become passionate about something. What do you want to change? What do you want to transform? I sort of usually make the joke that if I don't offend you or upset you somewhere in my class, I failed you, because this should actually create a reaction. You should actually feel strongly about what's going on. And what we're doing is we're providing you the tools. It's one thing to feel something, it's another to be able to talk about it. So hopefully by the time you're done in this program, you will feel like you can articulate, you can critically analyze what's going on out there, and you can step in. You can try and find ways to advocate, to get something heard, to make a change. In fact, we've actually had students return to our classrooms, not just to talk to our students about what they're doing now, but actually to champion some of those causes, to say, hey, we've got this going on right now. Can you get students to come to this? And I think that's the best way to sort of define, what is it that you do with this degree? You go out there and you make a difference. You matter. And the people that you're with, you get the message out there that those people matter. That's the best thing you can do.
The Booth University Business Program and the majors, we have 4 majors, are standing out compared to other universities in the sense that we can provide a very safe, very close, very authentic, genuine relationship with the students. It's very easy to say, and it's very popular, we have small class sizes. What does it mean? By itself, it's nothing. In some environment, a small class size could be like a disadvantage. But on the other hand, at Booth, we have a very, very close relationship with the students. We spend 4 years, of course, depending on the program, 2 or 3 or 4 years with those students. So basically, we are like family. So we see the improvement, we see the development in the learning, we see the problems, initial problems in the beginning. We can fix those on an individual level, and that's what only small class sizes can provide. And compared to other universities, like where you have 100, 200, even 300 students in the lecture hall, that this feature, what we can offer, is impossible. Most of the cases, the professors don't even know the student's name, not to mention the individual issues in learning, individual problems, personalities.
What can students expect to do with their business degree, their Bachelor of Business Administration from Booth University College, once they graduate, in order to change their cities and the world around them?
Booth University is offering 4 major programs in business. One program is a 4-year BBA, Bachelor of Business Administration degree. The other one is a 3-year Bachelor of Business Admin degree. And the third program is a business diploma program. So what can you do with this? One of our main majors, and most of the students are registering to that program, is the accounting program. We have a professional relationship with the Chartered Professional Accountants group in Canada, so CPA. So we are CPA accredited. And actually last year in 2019, CPA examined our courses one by one very closely, even on a weekly level, what we teach every class, what the topics are. And the accreditation was confirmed again. So when somebody finishes the accounting degree at Booth, they can go forward and continue their studies at the CPA designation. We are offering innovation and management, financial crimes, and marketing programs as well. These are the three other majors. Financial crimes program is very unique even in Canada. We are one of the only very, very few institutions who offer this program. So it's very unique, very new, and reading the news almost every day, you hear about these credit card ID theft, credit card fraud stories. So it's a real life need today to prepare people who would be able to catch the bad guys, right? Innovation and management program and marketing, they are very important today. With the internet and online and social media, online marketing and social media marketing, marketing and advertising is actually changing significantly. So we are trying to prepare our students to the real world, and then they would know what to do and how to use these degrees. We started offering digital marketing in our program. So it's actually, we are trying to follow what's happening in the real life industries and real life stories. So what kind of jobs they might have? They could be a marketing manager, as I mentioned, with the CPA designation. They could be a CPA accountant. They could do bookkeeping. They could be middle level managers with our degrees. And with the diploma programs, they could be like bookkeepers. They could be lower level managers, and I don't know what else.
That's okay. And how does that help to change the world? You talked about how it keeps the forensic program helps to keep people safe. How do the programs that we have to offer make a difference in the world on a bigger scale? What's the ripple effect?
Booth University is a religious institution, and we put a huge emphasis on ethical studies and social justice studies, not just with courses, specific courses offered in these fields, but within the courses. So how does business come together with ethics? World's largest accounting fraud was with the Enron company in the US a couple of years ago. $70 billion from the pension fund of that company was like stolen by the top management. Huge ethical issue. Not to mention the smaller scale issues like in this field, business ethics, like fraud, customer service frauds, or companies. Very good example. How is it ethical that during the virus situation, Air Canada and WestJet was not willing at all to refund your flight tickets, right? On the other hand, in the European Union and the US, they were paying the price of the tickets right away back to the customers because there was no service. And I experienced that in my case. We got the money back within like 1 or 2 weeks, as soon as it was obvious that we wouldn't be able to use the tickets. So how do we prepare the students? As I said, we put a huge emphasis on the ethical side. In accounting is extremely important that the specific professional has integrity, ethics, and honesty and transparency. So with Booth, and I know it happens through other programs at Booth University, not just at the business program, we all put a huge emphasis on this side. So if this doesn't prepare the students beside the professional skills and knowledge to the real life, then what is or what does?
Thank you, Dr. Sawatsky and Professor Markovics. Another fun fact, did you know that Booth University College is one of 3 BSW degree granting institutions in Manitoba? Next, our Dean of Students, Rhonda Friesen, will be discussing how your students will be supported throughout their journey at Booth UC. With the advent of COVID-19 necessitating an increase in online learning, these supports are more now than ever an integral part of our students' success. Thanks, Rhonda, for sharing some of what we do here at Booth UC for our students.
Thank you for that introduction, and hello everyone. It's good to be with you today. My name is Rhonda Friesen, and I'm Dean of Students at Booth University College. I provide oversight to the Student Services staff, and I have the privilege of working with a great group of students interacting on a daily basis. The focus of our Student Services team is on enabling our students to thrive through their post-secondary education, and not merely to survive the challenges and requirements that they're going to face through it. Our strategy to accomplish this is twofold. First of all, we focus on supporting our students in terms of their health and well-being to enable them to be successful as students. And secondly, we promote their engagement in community. We know that belonging to a supportive community promotes a positive sense of self, as well as generates excitement and gives a sense of purpose. Our Academic Learning Center is one of the significant ways that we enable our students to succeed in their learning. The ALC offers one-on-one tutoring, as well as workshops on different learning skills, such as surviving in an online learning environment, academic writing, research, and time management skills. Our ALC coordinator, Darla Thiessen, is a teacher by profession, and she leads and trains a team of peer tutors who work alongside our students. Students often tell us that visiting the ALC has made a real difference in their ability to succeed academically, and also to engage in their learning more effectively and have a very positive experience. The ALC, like all of our other student support services, is free of charge for Booth students. Some students undertake their post-secondary studies with the added challenge of a medically documented disability. Booth is committed to being an open and accessible place for all qualified students. We have a number of policies in place to ensure students with disabilities have the services and academic accommodations that they need for their unique learning needs. All of our buildings and classrooms are wheelchair accessible. In fact, Booth UC won a City of Winnipeg Access Award, Circles of Excellence, in 2017 for renovations we undertook to make our facility more accessible. Our Accessibility Services program works with students and instructors to implement academic accommodations, such as additional time on assignments and tests, transcription and note-taking services, or voice-to-text software. It's truly exciting and rewarding for me to see students persist through what some might see as significant barriers to their learning and celebrate with them on graduation day. Mental health is a growing concern on post-secondary campuses, and this is especially true during these pandemic times. That's why Booth University College has a number of mental health programs to support our students. Our students are able to contact virtually a professional counselor at any time of the day or night, 365 days of the year, through the My Student Support program. Booth UC is working in partnership with Morneau Chapelle to provide access to professional counseling that is tailored to post-secondary education students. Booth UC may also access additional mental health supports through the My Wellness program, which is a part of the Student Supplemental Health and Dental Plan. The My Wellness program offers free mental health assessments, additional access to professional counseling, and supplemental supports such as management advice and advice on budgeting. The last area I want to touch on, and certainly not the least, is the area of personal supports in physical health. We know that there's a direct connection between a student's ability to succeed in their studies and their physical well-being. That's why we ensure that all of our students have access to basic medical assistance, as well as a supplemental health and dental plan. Our campus facilities is equipped with a small gym so that students under COVID guidelines and restrictions can stay active and get some physical exercise. We also work in partnership with local gyms in the area where students are able to access high-quality equipment at reduced rates. Finally, I'd like to take a few moments to talk about the second part of our strategy to ensure that students are thriving during their time at Booth. Part of thriving in a post-secondary education program also depends on the student's ability to connect in meaningful ways. Our small class size and academic advising model means that students will connect quickly with their faculty and often end up seeing their faculty as mentors as well as teachers. Staff make an extra effort to learn students by name and offer individualized services for their needs. But I think the most meaningful connection comes through students being able to connect with each other. Some of our closest student connections come through our Booth residents. Living in residence allows students to learn from each other, to have fun together, and to grow in maturity together. Our Student Services Coordinator, Matthew Peters, works with resident assistants to actively support healthy living and the well-being of resident students. Together, they also plan programs that help each other grow a sense of community, to grow personally, and to have lots of fun doing it. The convenience of being close to their classes, as well as the deliciously famous Booth Bistro meals, makes our residence experience a highlight for many students. Finally, Booth UC is an institution that's founded on the Christian values, principles, and passion for service that is indicative of the Salvation Army. Our faculty and staff bring a commitment to a Christian worldview, but a student body comes from many diverse backgrounds and represents the rich diversity of the world around us. It is our diversity that makes Booth an enriching place to learn, and it is our commitment to respecting and caring for each other that makes it a great community to be a part of. This school really does live out its commitment to education for a better world. I would like to welcome any conversations that might help you better imagine what a Booth UC education is like and what it might mean for you or for someone you know. Thanks.
It's great to see all the good things that Student Services is doing to support our students. Just like the importance of the relationship between the professors and the students, the support they receive from Student Services team is another key element in the success of those who study with us. But another important part of post-secondary life is student finances. We understand that it may be challenging right now for high school students to afford a post-secondary education. And that is why we offer many entrance scholarships, some that incoming students are eligible for without an application, and some that they need to apply for. Many of these entrance scholarships have an application deadline of March 31st, so please give your students a heads up.
You can find more information on these scholarship opportunities on our website, boothuc.ca. These graphics, along with information on all of our programs, are available in our new Yearbook. A link to the Yearbook, which you can share with your students or on your school website and social media, will be sent to you after the event today.
I hope we have inspired you today to join us in partnership to help your students transform their city. Booth University College is committed to guiding students and equipping them in finding their passion to make our world a better place. One of our alumni has taken the time to share with us how they are transforming our world. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Hello, Booth University College. Let me take this mask off first of all. My name's Richard, and I graduated in 1988. Yeah, that seems like a lifetime ago, with a Bachelor of Arts in Biblical and Theological Studies. Since 2000, I've been living in Kelowna, British Columbia, working in our school district. I work as an Indigenous youth wellness worker, doing counseling to Indigenous students throughout our schools. My work allows me to blend emotional and mental wellness from a variety of perspectives, empowering young people to live their lives in the fullest way possible, allowing them to grow up as adults who become positive and impactful members of our society. I enjoy the work I do, I love it, and I'm very grateful to the education that I received at Booth. Thank you.
We are so proud of our alumni and our current students. They are our commitment of education for a better world in action. Thank you for joining us today at our first virtual Counselors Coffee Break. Thank you for all of your questions on chat. It was great to engage with you in this way.
In the coming days, we'll be sending out an email asking for your feedback, as well as attaching links to resources like the Yearbook, which OC mentioned, to help you and your students explore post-secondary education at Booth University College.
And if you have any questions about the event, please feel free to contact us through our email at admissions@boothuc.ca or give us a call at 204-924-4887.
We hope to hear from you soon and wish you a safe and happy day. Goodbye.